My goal of this lab was to have a sensor measure the humidity and temperature in a room and then have the fan kind of be automatic for turning on when the humidity/temperature gets too high to help cool down the room, which is an issue I have in my room. But this is more on a smaller scale than using a huge fan. Let's first run through my circuit. So we're going to start with my DHT11 temperature and humidity model. And so this model is connected to pin 2 on my Arduino. And then the middle is connected to power, which is 5 volts. And then the last one is connected to ground. And then I also have a resistor in there to make sure nothing bad happens. And then I also have for my 3 to 6 volt motor, I have that with my NPN transistor and then a diode to make sure when it doesn't go too quickly and overheat and have too much current. So that's why I have the 2K ohms in series, and that's so the fan doesn't rotate too quickly. And it slowed down the speed by half because originally it was spinning too violently in the pan transistor in there. And I have that circuit connected to ground, and then I'm also using a battery pack which plugs in here to make sure the DC motor isn't run by the Arduino, and then I also have it connected to 5 volts and ground.
So I'm gonna run through my processing code. So first it imports the processing serial which adds the serial library, and then in my setup I send the window size, and then I list all available ports to make sure I was using the proper one, and then I set up my initial text, which was aligned left, which instead of centered it makes it left, and the text size, the color, which was bluish, and then it sets the background to white, and then it prints the text of the humidity, temperature in Celsius and Fahrenheit at the different levels. And then in my draw, I have while the port is available and the string has the proper number of values, which is 3. It first fills, which resets the coloring. These are all so my coloring for the later in code work properly, and then this included as well. And then it reads the values from the matrix, then it makes the text align to the left, not centered, and then it fills in the text based off of what the values are. And that's why as it updates I had to reset the color, so I added white behind it, so and then I delayed to not overload it. And so if H, which is the humidity, is less than 60, it changes the color dependent on the humidity, which I do in the calculations here. And then else, if it's greater than 60%, it proceeds to draw the fan, which denotes that the fan has turned on. And then for my Arduino code, which is over here, I borrowed this from the Adafruit sensor library, and then I adapted my code based off of the DHTtester.ino. Which was from Clement Peters, Adafruit GitHub. And so it defines the pins, and then it starts serial, and then I pins as an output, and then it begins using the library I had. And then all of this code is also adapted from Adafruit's library, and so it reads the different sensors, and then it makes sure that if the sensor isn't reading properly, it returns fail to read from the DHT sensor. And so then back to my own code, I created a string of values that add the H, T, and F, and I print the values so it would be able to be read by the processing code. Delayed 50 seconds just to add a little buffering time, and then it says if the humidity is greater than 60%, the fan is on high, and if else, it is on low, meaning the fan is turned off.
So first this opens with the humidity, temperature in Celsius, Fahrenheit, and so the red dot represents a color, and the color changes based off the humidity. So if I put my finger on the humidity sensor to increase the humidity, the color changes, and once the humidity reaches over 60, it changes to the fan running to cool it down. So once it gets under 60, it will go back to reading the humidity, and the dot will change colors as well.
Here's an up-close perspective to my processing display, and I hope you enjoyed my project. Thank you.